I'm going to show you how I like to pipe a more realistic sunflower. It's got all these lovely little individual petals coming right to the edge of the cake and this lovely big centre. And you can see there's quite a bit of texture in the centre there with little specks of different colours. And I'm going to show you a really quick and easy way to add all that texture. The piping tips I'm going to use for the petals is a GG 102. It's just this little thin piping tip. You've got a long end which is at the bottom here, and this shorter end at the top is always going to be the tips of your petals. I've added a few little stamen around the sunflower with a number 2 round, and I've just got some sunflower yellow in here. You could use caramel ivy as well. And for the centres, I'm using a number 16, which is a small open star. And in my piping bag here, I made up some dark brown buttercream and some caramel ivy buttercream. I mixed them together with a knife, so they were not very well mixed at all, and then just pop them in your piping bag like that, so you get little random specks of dark and light colour. So they're your piping tips, and you want to put a crumb coat of your petal colour over your cupcake. So take up your GG 102. In here I've just used some Pro Gel Yellow and added a splash of Colour Splash Sunflower. Don't have too much in your piping bag, and make sure it's really nice and tight so you've got full control over each petal. Have your piece of paper towel handy. Let's move him out of the way. So I'm gonna keep the petals as close to the edge of the cake as I can, and I'm gonna come up and loop back down on myself. So I'm lining the piping tip up to the edge of the cupcake, and that's where I'm going to start piping my petals, and I'm turning the piping tip vertical, so this would be parallel to the cupcake. Turn it up so you're pointing straight down on the cupcake, then pipe straight up and loop back down on yourself so that you finish in the same place that you started. Turn the cake and leave a little bit of a gap. Come straight down with your piping tip, go up, loop it back down, stop and come off. So come up, loop it, come back down and come off. And you've got these lovely individual petals. If you turn and have a look underneath, you can see the loop, but when you're looking straight down on it, you just get this nice pointy shape. So I'll show you in slow motion. So you're going to line up your tip where you want to start your petal, coming straight down on the cupcake, pipe up in a straight line, loop it back down and finish at the same point that you started at. So come up, loop, back down and off. Turn the cake, straight up, loop it, back down. So it's a very definite movement. So come down, pipe your petal, stop squeezing and come off. And that long end of the petal, where that little point is at the end there, I'm starting in that place and I'm finishing in that place. So I'm starting there, I'm finishing there. It's just a really, really small motion. It's a very small loop. And they're very small petals. You see, I'm not moving that piping tip very much at all. And I've left a tiny little gap between each one, so you're not right up next to each other. Come up, loop, down. Up, loop, down. So there's the first row of petals on the cupcake. And now I'm going to come in and do exactly the same thing, filling in all the gaps. Just make sure that you haven't got any buttercream on your piping tip. And then do exactly the same thing. So I'm going to come in vertical. I'm going to start in the middle, up, loop and down. This makes a really lovely, huge, open sunflower. And I've kept my petals quite neat all the way around here, but if you've got flyaway petals that are at varying angles, it doesn't matter, it makes it look more realistic. So start in the same place, go up, loop and down, up, loop it back round and come down. When you get down to that point where you're finishing, just stop squeezing and come off. And there's your second row done. So now you're really building up texture. You want to tighten up your bag and make sure it's nice and clean. And I'm going to put one more layer of petals on just for a bit of added texture. So obviously now you've got some buttercream there. Your piping tip angle is going to come up ever so slightly. And then I'm going to go in between these gaps again with exactly the same motion, and I'm making them the same length as well. Just go all the way around. And by putting this extra layer on as well, you're making the petals look like they're standing up a little bit more. Because you're starting in the same place, you're not coming into the cupcake at all. You're keeping that center as big as you can. It's hard to tell where you are sometimes. One more. And there's your petals on. And you can see what texture that gives you. Makes it look like it's got so many petals. And we've still got this lovely big center. So if you want to add some stamens, I'm using a tiny little number 2 round here. You could just snip 1 millimeter or so off the end of a piping bag. And you want to make sure you haven't got too much in it and that it's nice and tight so you've got full control. You want to have a good grip on the bag. Now I'm going to come all the way around the edges of these petals and just add a tiny stamen. I'm not starting on the cupcake, I'm right on the edge of the petals here. And they are really, really tiny little stamen. So touch the end of the petal, squeeze, lift, sort of flick it off as you stop piping. And I'm following the edge of the petals for the angle of these little stamen. They're not coming directly upright, I'm going along the edge of the petal. And they're very, very short. It's just a tiny bit of added detail. Sometimes I use this sunflower yellow colour. It's Colour Splash Sunflower. And sometimes I like to add these in a nice light caramel ivy colour with the sugar flare. It's just a little added touch to neaten off the edges of those petals. If you find it uncomfortable to pipe these little details holding the cupcake, you can of course set it down on the table like this and steady your wrist with your other hand. But just go all the way around the edges of those petals. And now we'll fill in the dark centre, and we want to add loads of texture in here. So don't have too much in your piping bag and make sure it's nice and tight. And I'm using this little 16 open star tip, and I'm going to give it a bounce. So I'm going to come right up to the very edge of the cupcake, and I'm not coming straight down. I'm sort of angling it, so I'm pushing that center out as close as I can to those little stamen. Squeeze, give a bounce, and then come off. So you're making like a really messy star. You don't want it to be star shaped, but by using the star tip, you can get quite a lot of these little dots in just one squeeze. It does need to be an open star tip. So as you go around, just turn the cake, squeeze, bounce, and then come off. And get really, really close to that edge so you make your center as big as you can. I like to go around the center like this just so I know I haven't got any gaps. And then I'm just going to fill in the whole thing here. You can see it's really quite quick and easy to give the illusion of lots and lots of little seeds in here with just this piping tip. And it gets quite messy. I don't really worry about cleaning it off while I'm doing this bit. And again, if you find it easier to lay the cupcake down on the table, you can steady your piping hand with your other hand like this. And then you can just turn the cupcake so your piping hand is always in a comfortable position, and you turn the cake to suit your piping hand. I find it easier to hold the cake, but you do what works best for you. You can see as I'm going around, there's a few little specks of that caramel ivy coming through in the dark brown, and that gives it another realistic look. So there, filled in the centre. Now I'm going to wipe off the end of the piping tip and make sure it's nice and clean and that your bag's nice and tight. And I'm just going to add another layer around the outer edge of this centre. So again, I'm going to come right in up close to this stamen here, as close as I can. And with exactly the same motion, with that little bounce, I'm going to go around, just put one layer around the edge of that center. And again, it just adds a bit more texture and a bit more detail and a bit more depth to the flower. And there we go. That's how I like to pipe a big, open, more realistic sunflower.